Let's get to the Luka trade. Sam, Saturday evening, I am watching some show on the Netflix on the Apple TV. I don't know what it was. The show ended, and it's 10:30 or something, and whatever. I turn off the smart TV part of the TV, and then I just go over to Sports Center, and Sports Center's not on. They're doing some West Coast college basketball game. Our buddy Sean Farnham from back in the day is on the color analysis, and then his play-by-play guy out of nowhere goes, "How about this? The Mavs just traded Luka Doncic to the Lakers." And Sean's like, "Come on, that didn't happen. That's got to be wrong. No way." Says right here, details coming up on Sports Center after the game. Come on, no. Somebody got hacked. That didn't happen. And then I open up my computer, and everybody has the same reaction, from Patrick Mahomes to CJ McCollum to, I mean, you name it. You name it. Athletes all over the world, to reporters all over the world going, this did not happen. Fun fact, it did. It actually did happen, and the trade is legit. Immediately, my brain goes to, can I think of something in the NFL that works? I don't know that there is anything in the NFL that works. The closest I can think of is, this is all hypothetical. Let's say Josh Allen is up for a new contract this offseason. Wink, wink, by the way, he is. And let's say the Bills decided that their 20-something quarterback, who can still play at least another decade, is fat and out of shape, and they're ready to move on. Okay? We don't want to give him a new contract. He doesn't know that. Nobody knows that. Our fan base would kill us, but we don't want to give this guy a new contract. We think he's fat and out of shape. That's not the case, but just play along. So they secretly work a deal with the Rams for Matthew Stafford, who's 36, like Anthony Davis, has one championship, much different player. I mean, it's not a fair and equal comparison, but just play along. And hey, you could throw in a first-round pick and we'll call it even. So Matthew Stafford had a 1 at 36 years old for Josh Allen, and that's it. And that's what they did. They didn't call anybody else. They didn't say, hey, Niners, do you want Josh Allen? Hey, Seahawks, do you want Josh Allen? Hey, anybody, do you want Josh Allen? We're just going to work a deal with the Rams and get an older quarterback, and they could throw in a first, and we just don't want to pay Josh. That's what the Mavs did. It is insane, and I'm not the NBA expert. There is no comparison for this trade. When the players involved don't think it's real, you know it is just bonkers. And for everyone who says, well, he's fat and he doesn't play defense, great. He got him to the finals. Yeah, they got blown out. But he got him to the finals. And for the people screaming and yelling at him in the finals, how are you not playing defense? Did you not watch the 82 games in the regular season and the postseason, how they got here? You thought he played defense in the regular season? No, this is who he is. Yeah, he's got to get better at it. He's 25. Yeah, he could probably lose a couple of pounds. Yes, he's missed too many games this year. But good gosh almighty, I have never seen a trade in my sports life that has, maybe that's the better analogy. Like, not what is an equal trade, but where has there been a trade in which a franchise's fans have basically said to the team, you're dead to me. Like, when teams move, fans can go, you're dead to me. But when trades happen, like, I know Mavericks fans that are like, yeah, I'm good. Like, I'm never going to root for them again. It's over. And that is how big this is.
This was huge, and if you're looking for how big, Charles Barkley said in 40 years he's never been more surprised.
Yeah,
never been more surprised by anything. In our lifetime, the Kawhi Leonard and Paul George Friday night, which was free agency, not a trade, that was as stunning in the moment that both, because and again, here's the reason why though, because the rumor never happened. That's what makes this so crucial. The rumor of Clippers, Kawhi, Paul George never happened. And so when it landed, it wasn't just confirming what someone else had said, it was brand new information. And this is such brand new information for a couple of reasons. First of all, Jimmy Butler's the name out there. Everyone is so concerned with the idea that Jimmy Butler's going to be traded, etc. The trade deadline is also Thursday, so I would say the weekend in between, the championship weekend and the Super Bowl in the NFL. Not exactly.
How about the weekend playing the Grammys too? I mean,
yes, and the Grammys. So people are not necessarily thinking. Now, trade deadline this week, once it becomes Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, trade deadline, yes, that conversation heats up. And Thursday becomes an NBA day. Yes, Andrew.
I had no idea the trade deadline was coming up. Yeah.
And by the way, the only reason I know is because for years...
Oh, you don't have to defend it.
No. I'm saying, but here's why. No, here's why. I am used to now, over the last few years of being of producing sports content, Super Bowl week, I am used to what becomes, I'll call it a headache here. You're so used to thinking it's going to be an entire NFL week. And then the NBA does drop this massive news bomb numerous times. I mean, remember, Kevin Durant 2 years ago was traded on during Super Bowl week. It was a massive deal. This is that big. But if you want to understand what makes this so unique, please read the article by Ramona Shelburne and Tim McMahon at ESPN about how this went down between Rob Pelinka and Nico Harrison. This will be the new wave of the NBA. I really do think the fact that they kept this so secret and so tight to the vest that nobody knew, including LeBron, of course, including Luka and Anthony Davis as well. This was an outstanding culmination of a deal that we never saw coming. And the fact that they kept it so secretive is what made it even possible. And it really, it is stunning at how differently these things do normally go down. And the NBA has, again, Shams obviously puts the story out there, but to think that he didn't know about it, that nobody ever got a sniff of this at all, to the point where everyone thought it was fake, fake, fake. Farnham, as you said, thought it was fake. Of course, in the moment you thought it was fake. It's really unprecedented what happened here in regards to how they went about it. And that's what makes it amazing. And for those that say the Mavs are DEAD to them, they're still going to compete with Anthony Davis. This is going to be a team. There are many people that think the Mavericks today are a better team because of this trade, including Nico, who, by the way, he didn't do this fly by night. I mean, this is a really tight theory and hypothesis by him that this makes the team ultimately better into the future and right now. And to the analogy, I was really, you tweeted it out about the Josh Allen, Matthew Stafford thing, and I was trying to think NFL, what would this be? My cousin Michael's the one who actually came to me with this. It's more maybe Aaron Donald, and of course, yes, not playing right now, but let's say Aaron Donald and Lamar Jackson is what it felt like to me. It would be sort of a Lamar Jackson,
a scorer for a defender,
right? Just because Anthony Davis is such a Hall of Fame defender that it would have to be at that level. And I don't know that there's anyone right now who's at the Aaron Donald level and therefore at the Anthony Davis level. So I think Aaron Donald's probably fair in that regard to say maybe it would be that. But this changes the NBA, and good for the NBA. In a week that belongs to the NFL, this absolutely stole it for a few days. This is bigger right now, certainly today and yesterday and the day before. It's bigger than the Super Bowl. Sunday, the Super Bowl will be the biggest thing. This is bigger than the Super Bowl. And the fact that we don't even get to see him on the court immediately means that this extends the story for more and more days as we anticipate seeing Luka and LeBron together.
And Luka and the Lakers will face Anthony Davis and the Mavs coming up on the 25th of February. And that'll be here in LA. And then in March, Luka and the Lakers are scheduled to go to Dallas. But I digress. It's Josh Allen for Myles Garrett, except Myles has already requested a trade. As for that one, look, I hope they work it out. You guys know I'm a Browns fan. I certainly want Myles to stay. I also understand that Myles wants to win. I think it can happen in Cleveland. He evidently disagrees. It's very early here. He has 1 year, well, really two, but 1 year of $20 million left on his contract. It's time to do a new deal. From what I understand, it's not about the money. Myles made that clear in his statement. I hope they could work something out, and I would offer the Washington Commanders as a team that found the quarterback at 2. And they go from 4 wins to this close to the Super Bowl. I don't know that there's a quarterback in the class that can do what Jaden Daniels did. Jaden Daniels is the best rookie quarterback in the history of the National Football League. All due respect to Dan Marino and all the others that have come before him. Marino was great. Marino didn't get to the conference championship game. He got close. Or did he? I don't remember. Either way, Jaden has been amazing. There's that. And then as for Cooper Kupp, you knew this was coming. I think more so than the Myles thing. I love Cooper. He's been amazing. Him and Anna and the community, they've been amazing since they got here in April of 2017. They're always going to be part of Los Angeles. It's a tough world out there for 32-year-old wide receivers making $20+ million. Is there a world in which the Rams could keep him at a lower price? Yeah, maybe, but I don't think this is strictly a money play. I think that the Rams think it's time to move on and that Cooper does not. I would love to see Cooper Kupp just spitballing here, saying Washington. Myles Garrett people think could go to Washington as well. Yeah, they're both good fits. I would like to see both players stay with their current teams. But you get Terry McLaurin, you get De'Ami Brown as the deep threat, you get the Cooper Kupp in between. Utterly amazing. Utterly amazing. But somebody will find a very good wide receiver that I think still does have a couple of good years left in him. The wide receiver market has exploded. Cooper Kupp isn't going to get the $35 million. The Rams don't want to pay him the $20 million. He probably thinks he is still worth the $20 million, and he could still very well be worth that. I know he can play. Go back and look at his best plays this year. They've been amazing. But the last 3 years, he's been an injury issue. Nothing that he's done wrong. It's just, it happens. It's old. It's tough out there for a 32-year-old wide receiver. I think, and the same goes for Miles. Something happens before March 12th, but I think guaranteed there's something happens for Cooper Kupp before March 12th. I'm not certain that anything happens before the start of the new league year with Myles Garrett. There are a lot of moving pieces here in play. In a perfect world, you guys can see both Ram stuff and Brown stuff behind me. I would like both of them to stay. So those are my thoughts on that.
Real quick on Cooper Kupp, I just wanted to say in regards to a landing spot, Cincinnati seems fun for a couple of reasons. Obviously, with the uncertainty around T. Higgins, the idea that Jamar Chase, obviously, to have someone else on the other side of him would be incredible. And Cooper Kupp, much like Jamar Chase, Triple Crown wide receiver season. He had that a couple of years ago, and Super Bowl MVP against the Bengals. It's a nice, interesting storyline, but simply to see him in that offense for a team that had the number one passer, the number one receiver, and one of the top defensive players with the most sacks in the league that missed the playoffs, Cooper Kupp, that would be fun, especially if T. Higgins, if they can't work it out there.
Yeah. Look, the Bengals have to decide how much money they put in the wide receiver room. You can't extend both Jamar and T. Higgins at market value. You just can't. You can't. You could extend Jamar at market value and T. Higgins at much lower, but he wants the long-term deal. You could do Jamar Chase at market value long-term deal and Cooper Kupp on a short-term thing. It's a different dynamic, but you don't think Joe Burrow and Cooper Kupp would be awesome to watch? Heck, yes. And it all comes full circle after Cooper Kupp caught the touchdown to beat Joe Burrow and the Bengals at SoFi and win a Super Bowl. It would be interesting, to say the least. That's going to do it for this edition of Thinking Out Loud. It's been a quick one here, even though my clock says 37 minutes. We crammed a lot into it. On the road to New Orleans. We'll do one later in the week as well. Sam, do you want me to get you an Eagles t-shirt or something like that?
This is interesting. And I had family in New Orleans, considered going. You're going for the both of us to represent, which I love. Yeah, if you see something really interesting, sure. That's one of those. It's the t-shirt that says both teams in the Super Bowl is only something you want in one scenario, right? After Sunday, that thing becomes a rag for the car or not, right? So
correct.
Why don't you get it and hold on, and you can decide if I want it on Monday. Right?
Okay.
I mean,
or you know what? I'll get something for Levi, because
there you go.
The adult doesn't need the I went to the Super Bowl, even if you didn't go to the Super Bowl.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. And by the way, Levi's favorite person in the NFL right now is who he calls Rough Jameis Winston.
Jameis, yeah. If I see Jameis,
please let him know.
If I see Jameis, we'll get the Levi video.
Yeah,
okay,
because of the bark tank. Yes, absolutely.
Rough.
Rough.
All right. On that note, this is Thinking Out Loud. That's Sam. I'm Andrew. So long, everybody.